Are you looking for love, or do you know somebody that is? Well, today you have come to the right place. I've got Hasani Pettiford, relationship expert, and we're going to tell you how to get a man and keep a man right here on Kim Gravel in the ATL. Today we're talking about men, one of my most favorite subjects. We're talking about finding love and finding a good man and keeping him. And Hasani Pettiford is here along with my BFF, Amy Goins. You don't have to drag my girl along. Honestly, I talk about Amy all the time, and I decided to absolutely just quit talking and start doing. And I have coupled Hasani and Amy to get some relationship and finding love coaching, because you're a relationship expert.
That I am.
Couples Academy.
Couples Academy, we're an organization, a relationship-based organization that helps people find love and maintain their love.
I loved it. I read on your website how to get a man and keep a man.
That's right.
All right, she needs a man, Hasani.
Yeah. It's so interesting. There's so many beautiful, strong, qualifiable women who are just alone. And we're trying to figure out why that is the case. Are women doing something wrong? Are men doing something wrong? And, you know, I definitely want to hear more of your story, but what I've discovered is that there are 3 things that men do that actually contribute to the problem, and 3 things that women do. And we're going to go through this quickly. Number 1, we find that there are many men that are just intimidated by a strong woman. Either he's intimidated by her possessions, intimidated by her personality, or intimidated by her position, meaning her career. And so as a result, he won't pursue or remain in that relationship. Some men have feelings of inadequacy. And so every time he looks at her, it's a reminder of what he's failed to do in his own life. And so as a result, he doesn't pursue her. Then there are other men who are very traditional in their thinking. You know, that Archie Bunker mentality, that a woman shouldn't have a job.
Yes,
right?
okay.
She should be stuck in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, and as a result won't pursue a wonderful woman. But then there are things that women do that also contribute to the problem, because some men aren't intimidated by a woman who has a great job, makes great money, but oftentimes it's the attitude of superiority that the woman brings into the relationship that causes the problem. And so as a result, she's quick to remind that man about what she's done and what she's contributed, and it emasculates him. He doesn't stay. There are other women who are guilty of bringing their resume into their relationship. And so she, in essence, she's been looking for a man with the job and the money and can't find him, and so she's become the man that she seeks. And so every accomplishment that she has becomes the new criteria by which she judges all future relationships.
But you're not saying it's not good to be a woman that's powerful and successful.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's just how you bring it on in.
I think women are beginning to outperform men. Men are now the major benefactors of marriage. And you know, listen, men have arrested their development. They haven't pursued the things that many women have, and we have an imbalance here. So what happens is, with your new standard, based upon your new accomplishments, you say, well, if I got a job, he's got to have a job. You know, if I make $150,000, he better not make $1 less. If I own my own home, he better not rent. If I can bench press 250 pounds, he better come correct. So everything that she does, he's got to do equally as good or better, or he's X'd off the list. And then the last thing is, a lot of women equate success in society with success in their relationship. So because I have all of these wonderful things and I've succeeded, those same skill sets I think I can bring into my relationship and it will work, but it doesn't, because the skill sets that it takes to maintain a relationship are different than the skill sets needed to succeed and perform in the world. And I think that's where we kind of get tripped up. So in essence, her greatest strength has become her greatest weakness within that relationship. And because we have all of these complexities, that's why so many qualifiable men and women are alone and can't find one another.
Well, how do we help someone like Amy? Like, Amy, tell Hasani a little bit about your situation, because if you don't, I will.
Well, I don't think we have enough time to tell the whole story, but I guess the short version is I'm single, I'm 44, I've never been married, and I've never really been in, I would say, a serious committed relationship. I've dated a little bit, and you know, but I would never say I've been in a serious relationship when you say that. And so, you know, I do think that there's something about me that I feel like there obviously is some kind of wall or some kind of barrier there that I'm not aware of, because on the inside, in my mind, I feel like I'm open and you know, welcoming and inviting. But obviously, I've come to realize in the past years of doing some self-analyzation and looking at myself, I've realized, well, there must be something there, and I just don't know what it is.
Well, Amy, tell me about your list. Everybody has a list. What's on your list?
Oh, gosh. Well, you know, my list is about like everybody else's. You know, I do want someone who is responsible, has ambition, someone who's kind, funny. Funny is big up there for me.
Right.
Just a, you know, normal, everyday kind of guy.
See, now, the list that you just gave, Amy, represents your type,
Okay.
right? And oftentimes we only pursue, or we only accept the pursuit of men who meet this particular type.
Ding, ding,
and so
ding, ding.
we have to learn how to date outside of the box, right?
Yes.
You know, if he's a Republican and I'm a Democrat, it won't work. Or if he's too tall, too short, too skinny, too fat, too light, too dark, it won't work. You know, we put all of these restrictions on our love, and we block ourselves out from the possibility of what can be. And so I would say, while it's good to maintain a standard of what you want to be fluid and flexible. Don't you know that there are some women who have no standard? You know, as long as he has 3 teeth in his mouth, he's good. But then there's other women.
That's desperate.
Yeah, that's very desperate.
That's desperate.
But then there are other women whose standards are so high that if Jesus Christ himself came down on earth, she wouldn't date him because he wouldn't be good enough.
Right.
And so I think that it's important to balance out what it is that you're looking for with the reality of what you find
Yes.
to see if it can work.
You're definitely right. I definitely do that. I definitely write people off really quickly and don't give people a chance.
Let me ask you another question. How social are you? Like, tell me about a typical day, a typical week.
Oh, and we'll be right back. No, just kidding, Hasani. Go on, Amy.
Oh, gosh.
Tell it truthfully, because I'm about to.
Yeah, I'm not social. I want, you know, I want the other people to arrange, you know, social. I like being social.
She's a
I
fun introvert.
Okay. She's
Yeah,
an introvert.
actually, I was told once after I took one of these tests that I'm an outgoing introvert.
Interesting.
I actually tested right down the center, so I don't consider myself a shy
So you just
person.
need a little nudge, a little budge.
I love going out
Okay.
and doing things, but I'm necessarily not going to be the one to initiate it.
Because what's interesting, most successful single women go from work to home, work to church, work to home. That's their routine. Statistically, women who go out and just eat out with a girlfriend around 2 times a week, put themselves in a much better position to meet somebody and find a relationship.
Really?
Just going out for a casual dinner or lunch puts you in a much
She's
better
going to give you
position.
an excuse, Hasani.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I'm just going to give it. And that another issue with me is I work at home. So I'm like, there are,
That's
you
a
know,
double whammy.
I know,
There's no need
isn't
to
it?
go out, right?
It's horrible. I mean, there are some days I just have to go out and run to Target just to see another human being.
I think another challenge is, let me ask you a question. How comfortable are you with members of the opposite sex? Just a casual conversation, developing a friendship.
I think I'm good casually, but then if it moves, I'm a terrible flirter. I know that, and I hate to bring that negativity on myself, but
She don't have any game.
No,
But
I
you
don't
know
have
what?
any game.
Can I get controversial for a second?
Sure.
Sure.
Listen, I'm born and raised in the church. Thank God for my salvation. I love the Lord.
Amen, Jesus.
But I believe that sometimes the church can help to keep women single.
Yes.
Because of these restrictions and these behaviors according to not even Bible, but opinion that's being preached in the pulpit. Listen, I believe that a man should pursue a woman, but there's nothing wrong with saying, hi, my name is. There's nothing wrong with introducing yourself and just having a casual conversation that could develop into something. And I think that, you know, if a man does approach us and says, hi, automatically he wants me, and my guard goes up, and we go through all of this internal conflict, and it shows on our face, right? It comes out in our body language, and it turns sometimes men off. And so we have to learn how to be more open, more fluid, more sociable, and just more carefree. Smile. You know,
Let's talk about body language, because, I mean, I'm in a benefit over here sitting here. I know your expertise, and I know your weaknesses and challenges. Let's call them challenges. Talk about body language and what that does for a man.
when you're dealing with communication, first of all, I think it's around 30% is 30% of your words, 40% is how you say what you say, and the rest is your body language, your facial expressions. And oftentimes, you can speak messages that your mouth never utters with your body language.
Right.
So you can give off an impression of desperation. You can give off an impression of, I'm not interested, leave me alone, just just by the way that you look, just by the way that you curl your lips, just by the way that you move your body and your expressions. And I think that that's a technique and a skill that we need to learn
It's called
when
social
we're dating.
skills.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that we failed in that area, and that's why many of us don't develop, positive, long-lasting relationships.
Okay, can I give you a specific what's going on with Amy right now? She's being a cougar a little bit. She's into a younger guy. Tell him.
No, you tell him.
You tell him.
No, you tell him.
I'll tell him. So it's a bad boy type situation. And I have personally, as her best friend, counseled her otherwise. But I see a lot of women who are established going after these young guys, these cougar guys.
A lot of women now are
They're
getting...
called cubs.
Excuse
They're
me.
called cubs. Now that's new. I never heard that one before.
I got a high five you on that one, girl. All right.
A lot of women are getting frustrated that all that they have been taught to pursue is not taught to receive. Those men aren't pursuing them, so they're going for the alternative. So it may be a younger guy, it may be the
Younger
bad
model.
boy.
He was going to say younger model.
It could be any one of those variations. But there are challenges that come along with those things that you kind of have to be mindful of. But at the end of the day, you have to love somebody for who they are, not what they are. See, when they fit into a certain category, he's young, and so therefore I'm pursuing him, or he's older, or he makes a certain type of money. When you allow superficial type of things to guide and steer your selection process, you're never going to have what you need to sustain that relationship.
Amy, tell him exactly what you want.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, I definitely want a husband.
Why?
I would say right now the main thing, I want companionship. I want that person. And I've told Kim this many times before that I think it's very ironic the position I am in my life. I've got a great job. I make a lot of money. I have the money to and time to travel and to do things, be adventurous, and I don't have anybody to do it with.
Let me just say something very quickly.
We've got 2 minutes.
All the things that you want, you deserve, you should have, but you don't want to give off the impression that you need those things. A lot of women date incorrectly. They put it out there on the first date, this is what I want. They put that man through an interrogation process to the point where he's uncomfortable and doesn't want to pursue. You want to develop chemistry. You want to see, is there something to pursue and move forward with? And so you want to allow the atmosphere to be free and flowing, and if it develops into something, it will naturally develop. But when you put marriage on the brain, with every interaction, it can cause a problem and can short-circuit the potential of a successful relationship.
Really, one quick statement. What would you say to women out there who are single, newly single or single, have never been married? What would you say to that woman who's looking for that good man?
What would I say? I would say what I always say. There's 3 relationships that we have. The relationship with God, ourself, and then the relationship with another. When you truly are whole and complete within yourself and build this up, then your horizontal relationships will naturally be successful and it will naturally take course. But if you don't know what you want, if you don't know who you are, it will come off in your interactions and cause a problem.
And I want to say this to you, girl. You know I love you like blood, and your man is coming. He's coming.
He's on his way.
He's on his way. And if you're out there looking for a man too, and you're saying, I'm single, I want to be married, I want that companionship, I want that soulmate, that life partner.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, Hasani? I want to tell you and encourage you, he's on the way. Just stay in faith and know that God has that person for you in his time and in that space, in that season of your life when you are ready. And I promise you, it's coming. Thank you so much for watching. Hasani, thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
And know this, that you're blessed and you're loved right here from Kim Gravel in the ATL.